SEMA 2023, which I've recorded completely nothing of. Sat here at Glossit in Las Vegas, and we are here with Aaron and his Cannonball winning Mercedes 6.9. Take it away, Aaron.
Yeah, so this is a 1979 Mercedes 450 SEL 6.9 special edition with the massive motor that Mercedes put in it to dominate back in the late 70s, early 80s. We took this car that had been sitting for basically 15 years. We ran it in an earlier race. Won and set a new record time in that, what we call the Southern Classic, landed at Texarkana. And now we went for the big show, going from Manhattan to LA, and we made a lot of upgrades to this car. The biggest one was we manual swapped it. It went from a 3-speed non-lockup torque converter with a 1-to-1 top ratio to a double overdrive, which made this car a real weapon. We took out the mechanical fan, put in electric fans to boost the horsepower, because we're going down the highway the whole time. We got plenty of airflow through there. We've totally revamped the hydraulic suspension so that it works as best as it can. The car really dealt well with the weight. The hydraulic suspension that only the 6.9 had really made a huge difference. And we'll see the tanks here in just a second, but this car has been outfitted with the 17-inch Pentas, will look beautiful. We've upgraded to the European bumpers. We've got fog lights and spotlights in the front, which we all control from the inside. The tail lights can be turned on and off, modified from LED to incandescent to try to hide a little bit on the highway. Spotlights are set up to, one will flash the car ahead of us and hopefully get them to come out of our lane. The far spotlight is a ditch light to watch for animals at high speed. And we've got it set up for all of our radar detectors. We've got extra phones inside that run our GPS tracking and Waze and highway radar and all that other stuff. Yeah, so the car is in filthy condition right now because it's done a lot of miles, but when it's clean, it's a beautiful, beautiful automobile. So we've got the black with the brown interior. We've got an Arty wheel on the inside. Come around to the back and see the fuel tank set up.
So what time did you finish in?
Yeah, so we set the competitive record, the fastest time in all of Cannonball history. It's been run in a competitive event, and also the fastest car that ever ran from the Cannonball era at 30 hours and 56 minutes. So we were definitely moving.
Wow, all that at 55 miles an hour. That's incredible, right?
Yeah. We came all the way through Mexico. So we've got twin 19-gallon tanks here, and then the factory 25-gallon. Each one of these tanks has an independent pump, so we can never overfill the factory tank because these are smaller, obviously. We've got our full-size spare, and then we've built a basement floor in here for extra storage for liquids and tools and everything. So yeah, this car is well set up for this purpose, and it did well. We've even got a plate flipper, so we can change between our two very legitimate Georgia plates, but one is a little less obvious. It's got a 3.5-inch stainless exhaust with a baffled muffler where we can run as loud as we want, or we can run really quiet if we want to just be a stealth old car, if for some reason we have a reason to hide. But yeah, when she's cleaned up, she's a beautiful automobile.
And it's the only manual swap 6.9 in the world, we would guess.
Yeah.
If anybody knows of another one, I'd like to hear of it. But this is what makes it a monster, rather than just a very good autobahn cruiser. Ignore the notes, it's about to be transported out. The manual swap's beautiful. Everything looks all original. Tons of extra buttons and gauges for the Cannonball running. We'll do a proper feature on it and go for a drive in it at some point in time. That won't be today. We need to clean it up, and it's going to be heading off on its way. So, just got a quick word in from our sponsor at DC Motorworks.
Yes, I'm Cameron from DC Motorworks. I'm Aaron's partner on this car. I got it from my client. Last year, right before our other event, the Southern Classic, I'd done some work on it over the previous few years and pried it away from his hands after 15 years, and we made it into what it is today.
He only sold it to you because he wanted you to cannonball it, didn't he?
That was a good push, yes. He does keep in touch with it, and he's excited that it went to someone that could do something like this with it.
Should we talk about the other elephant in the room? And I mean the rolls, because obviously you repaired that too.
Yes, so more so my one of my employees, Evan, he did most of the work on that with, of course, some guidance and some help, but we had about 6 days to from when it was dropped off in order to get it ready for this event, and we threw everything we could, and it made it here, and made it here with a pretty decent time at a little over 36 hours.
The chances that a British car actually finished an event, not only participated, but made it all the way through to the end is incredible, really, isn't it?
It is. It's fabulous. With
That
a few
would
extra fluids along the way, but
just
we made it here.
Consume the odd bit of bits and pieces, but there we go. Of course, you'll see a lot more about this if you watch Vinwiki, which nearly everybody's on here. And there's obviously in the background there was a Lamborghini Diablo, which we haven't talked about, but since Ed is probably stood right here, he can have a quick chat about his Lamborghini that's in the background.
Did you think you'd be sanding Lamborghini paint off today?
No, I didn't. I think I've still got it stuck in my fingers everywhere.
That's it. Well, it probably wasn't Lamborghini paint, let's be honest, but it was red paint on a Lamborghini. My 1997 Lamborghini Diablo SV, we shipped this car in from Japan, and it cleared customs the Thursday before we arrived at the Portofino at the end of the U.S. Express. And so I just had it flatbedded over there, and without any testing at all, we drove it all the way here to Las Vegas for SEMA 2023. They're in the process of changing its color from Lamborghini Rosso Imola to what I would call Lamborghini Verde Scandal. They'd call atomic lime vinyl stuff, but it looks awesome, and we've put it back mostly to stock. Stock rear wings, stock wheels, stock graphics, stock rear bumper eventually, and ultimately making it something that I consider to be totally presentable, very usable, and a whole lot of fun.
And definitely not the Japanese Yakuza mobile it was to start off with. That's exactly. So you got a massive set of exhausts on it, and he had the, where is the spoiler? Oh, it's our lunch bench currently is the spoiler, but everybody's working away quite hard on it at the minute. The Titanic Lamborghini engine in the back of it.
That's it. So this was the 5.7 liter V12 that they used up until 1999 and 2000 with the Diablo 6.0 and the GT as well. So it's kind of the perfect, I think, Diablo for driving. It's rear-wheel drive only. This wide-open Kreisig exhaust sounds terrific. And it's just a simple, and they actually thought about calling it the Diablo Sport rather than the Diablo Sport Veloce, because it was supposed to be kind of a lightweight, simpler version, but it's become really the enthusiast choice.
I'd absolutely say so. And it's got a very special, if you know anything about this, apparently the vajazzled vents inside of it are the Yakuza special. Oh, Jazzled. Sorry, I always get that one confused. I'm not actually sure what the other one means, but if you do know, please write in.
Apparently, it's a Yakuza signature thing, is to put rhinestones places, particularly around the air vents. And so this one's got kind of turquoisey purple air vents and then gold rhinestones on the shifter. I don't know why. At one point, the car had kind of a glitterily pearlescent vinyl Lamborghini bull and stripe along with some pink stuff on it as well.
Wow.
So yeah, not necessarily to my taste, but let's show them your handiwork.
Oh.
This was an absolute train wreck, and we've made it better. You've made it better.
A bit less of a train wreck is the word it is, but we're going to need some specialist help just to finish that off. But what a fabulous looking car, and I'm sure you're going to see it at some point in time on Vinwiki soon.
That's it.
Thank you, and good night.